Hi, Derek hier. Wir hatten vor kurzem noch ein Q&A-Session. So, das ist ein Ausschnitt dafür. Es könnte interessant sein, informativ. Wie wir sehen werden, kurze Fragen haben manchmal sehr lange Antworten. First question is, what's the difference between subject pronouns and personal pronouns? And says, I find them quite similar. Yeah, they are. So the subject pronouns are I, he, she, it, we, you, and they. And the personal pronouns are all of those plus the object sort of versions, which are then me, him, her, it, us, you, and them. So some of them are the same, most of them are different. Please check the pronouns lesson in the nouns module if you need any help with this, and obviously ask further questions if necessary. Next question says, what is the difference between common noun places and proper noun places? In both sort of places are included. And this is, so common noun places would be things like street, town, mountain, maybe even as a place. And the proper noun examples would be specific sort of streets or towns or mountains. So we might have a specific street, might be say Wall Street or Downing Street as the proper nouns for a street. So common noun would be say a city, and a proper noun example of that might be say London or New York or Paris. And if you say have a mountain even as a place, then say Mount Everest would be the proper noun example of that. So I hope this sort of the difference is clear there. The next question was one that caused me to think a lot. And it says, what article does the 6th of October take if it refers to a bridge? And I thought, don't understand this. So quick search. Yeah, there's a bridge in Cairo, the 6th of October bridge. And the question is, what article does this have? So the kind of guideline is that proper nouns don't normally have articles. So quite a common mistake in, if your native sort of language has more use of articles with with proper nouns, is people often introduce themselves, say, oh, hi, I'm the Derek, because it's not I'm Derek, you have no article. But there are exceptions. So we have, for instance, the Eiffel Tower, the White House, countries in plural like the Netherlands, the Philippines. Check on the lesson on this. There are all of the exceptions listed. Now I thought, well, okay, it's a bridge. Well, bridges don't normally have articles associated with them. So you would say, for instance, I went to London Bridge, or I went to Tower Bridge. You wouldn't say I went to the London Bridge or the Tower Bridge. So my first thoughts was, well, no, because it's a bridge. But then I sort of started thinking a bit more about it and thought, yeah, but dates do have an article. You know, you'd say Valentine's Day is on the 14th of February, or her birthday is on the 3rd of March. Yeah. So with dates, you do use an article. And I came to the conclusion that this example would have an article. So I went to the 6th of October bridge in Cairo. So yes, short version, 6th of October bridge does have an article, namely the definite article. Next question is one that kind of always makes me grin when I hear it. There's the rule about forming adverbs from adjectives. You just often add ly. And I said in the lesson that hard is an exception to this, and that hard is also the corresponding adverb for the adjective hard. And the question was, well, what about hardly? Isn't that the equivalent? And this is a real dangerous trap to fall into. I've seen numerous people fall into this, you know, very professional people, very intelligent people, who will fall into this trap, because hard is like when you put lots of effort in, and hardly when you put almost no effort in. I've even been in an office where German people were talking to French customers in the office. I wasn't involved with this. I was just in the room at the time. And the French guy sort of said, well, you know, I don't think you're giving our problem the priority we'd like to see. Which the German project manager said, no, that is not true. We are working hardly on it. And of course, I just took a drink of coffee at the time and went everywhere. Unfortunately, the French guy also made that mistake. So these mistakes kind of cancelled each other out and they both knew what they were talking about. But please be very careful here that hard and hardly are kind of opposites. Yeah? So forewarned is forearmed. Next question is, what is meant by past participle and why do we use it? The past participle is often like the V3, you know, if you do like V1, V2, V3, base form, past tense, past participle. So for example, eat, ate, eaten, or fly, flew, flown, those type of things. It's the last one, and we use the past participle for forming perfect tenses or aspects. So we would say, I have eaten, or she has eaten, and we use the past participle for that. So why we do it, we just do. It's by convention. It's something we've agreed upon. And so often the case is with English, there's no real logical reason to do it. It's just what we do. The next question is quite interesting because it's to do with a very current topic, and I apologize in advance for the sort of morbid nature of it and hope it doesn't upset anybody. The question is this: at least 72 people are dead in Bengal, and normal life is paralyzed for millions in Calcutta. And the question was, well, because this is something that's happening now, we need the continuous form or aspect because we're talking about something current now. Now there's two parts of this. The first one is, at least 72 people are dead in Bengal. Now, if we put this, so firstly, the question was, by the way, why can't we write deading and paralyzing? And the thing is, in the first part, at least 72 people are dead. The verb is to be, so the people are. And dead here is an adjective. It's not no part of to die. So if we were to put this in the progressive form or continuous form, we'd say 72 people are dying. But that's kind of not the same logical statement. If you say they are dying, they're still alive now, but maybe not for long. But by saying 72 people are dead, this happened in the past and they're no longer alive now. So in this case, we really do need the past form, even if it was like just yesterday. You know, there's no sort of how far back in the past it happened doesn't matter. So in this particular case, no, you need it the way it is. But for the second half, normal life is paralyzed for millions. You could argue that you could use the progressive form. And again, the verb is to be. Normal life is. So what you'd have to then do to put this in the progressive form is say normal life is being paralyzed. Okay. Now, to be doesn't often take the progressive or continuous form. And it's normally used for describing people who are behaving in a way that they don't normally behave. So for instance, a couple of examples, if you got, say, a normally well-behaved child who for some reason is just not being well-behaved, you might turn around and say to him or her, why are you being so naughty? You're normally not like this. Or if, say, a normal, intelligent work colleague, for some reason just doesn't get it into his head what you're trying to tell him and doesn't understand the concept, you might turn around and say, why are you being so daft? You normally get this quickly. And so to say is being paralyzed, it's not the normal way, but you kind of could argue for it. But you wouldn't say is paralyzing, you say is paralyzed, is being paralyzed. Okay. Please check the section on tenses and aspects if you need more information on this, and obviously ask follow-up questions as required. Next question is similar. It says, when do we use it's been raining and it was raining? And what's the difference? Okay, so it's been raining is present perfect continuous and it was raining is past continuous. So the difference is when we have present perfect or present perfect continuous, we're linking in some way the present to the past. And so the actions of the past kind of affect us in the present. Yeah, there's a sort of a link between the two things. Whereas just a plain it was raining, past continuous, that link is not there. So to use the past continuous, it was raining, you might say, oh yeah, that holiday we had 3 years ago, it was raining all the time. It doesn't really affect us now. But you would use it's been raining if someone, say, knocks on the door and you open the door and they're soaking wet, all that, you might say, oh God, why are your clothes wet? And they say, oh, it's been raining. In other words, it does affect us now. You know, this past event affects us now. So that's basically the difference between the two. And again, check that section, please, on tenses and aspects and ask follow-up questions. Diese Membership-Seite ist noch nicht live, wird demnächst live gehen. Da ist ein Link zu so einer Infoseite in der Beschreibung. Wenn das interessant ist, kannst gern E-Mail-Adresse eingeben und zeitnah Infos holen, ohne Kreditkarte oder Verpflichtung, einfach nur rein informativ. Die Leute auf dieser Liste, die werden auch die Chance haben, einen früheren Zugang zu bekommen, bevor das Ding offiziell live geht. So, da ist nichts zu verlieren und alles zu gewinnen. Ja, dann bis demnächst. Tschüss.